This is better than what I expected. ChatGPT understands emotions. So the register button developed by ChatGPT looks better than I got some error. Did not take into account the exact path of my input. This is an indicator that the current level of ChatGPT cannot develop a In my previous video, I shared how I discovered an open source Python project that saved me countless hours of video editing and a significant amount of money that I would have otherwise spent on purchasing software that provided that service. The tool I am referring to is a service that removes silent parts from a video. I already have a working Python code that does it for me, but now I need a front end, a UI, so that my video editing process is seamless and faster. In this video, I will be using ChatGPT to build my front end for it. This is the first time I am using any AI to write a complete code for me, so let's see how that goes. If you want to see how I built that project, I will leave the link in the description. The link to that video will also pop up in the I button at the top, so do check that video out. Speaking briefly about the code, so this is the GitHub repository that I finally used to build that tool, and I used this Python code as it is. Now this code takes some parameters as input. So the application that I need to build, it should have option to input these fields, and the application should also work if I don't specify any of these fields. The code is written so that it automatically takes a default value in case we don't specify which parameter has what value. I don't need a very good UI for my project. I just need it to be functional and it should do my job. I am thinking something on the lines of I drag my input file into the application, it will read the files, it will process it, it will call the Python code for this, and then it will output my results in a specific location, and from there I can take those videos. Let me give ChatGPT this input and see what it writes. Talking about which programming language to use, since in this video I am using AI to completely write my project, I will let ChatGPT decide it. So let's see how it does. I will write something like build me a front end for my Python project. The front end should take files as input. For each file, the front end should process that file. So I will write, also I should modify the front end should take files as input. These will be video files, and the result should be at a specified location, and the result will also be a video. For each file, the front end should call my Python project. Now I should also tell it how my Python command looks like. So I will write the Python command looks like. This part is actually location of input and -o is location of output. And there can be other parameters also which are passed to this Python command, like as mentioned in the readme of this. We can have -f also for certain things, failure tolerance ratio and all that, -- codec for codec. I need to specify codec since I am on a MacBook, but I will just pass these parameters to ChatGPT. The front end should also be able to take parameters as input, and the parameters, if they are available, should be passed to my Python 3 project. The parameters are -i -o. Okay, so these are mandatory. I will skip these. Codec is also fixed. I need -m, -d, -f, and -s, -x, -l. I have -c, and then bitrate. I think it should be this. I will also tell ChatGPT about these parameters so that it can design my UI in a better way. I will just copy this entire thing, refer to this, and let's see what it gives me.
A few moments later.
So it says ChatGPT now has memory. Okay, I know about this. Okay, let's try this and see what happens. So I will follow it step by step. To create a front end for your Python project, we can use a framework like Flask for a web-based solution or Tkinter for a desktop application. I will outline the steps to build a simple web-based front-end using Flask. First you need to install Flask if you haven't already. I guess I have Flask installed, but I will redo it. I had created a separate video on using crypto with Node. You can check that out if you want. For now I will create a new folder. I will name it Flask Video Editor Frontend and pip install Flask. Now I have written things like Python 3m break system packages because there is some problem with installation of Python in my system, but for you just pip install Flask should work. Okay, then create a new Python file, say app.py, and add the following code to it. Alright, I created app.py and copy code. Then create a folder named templates in the same directory as app.py, and inside it create an index.html. Okay. I am purely a backend developer, so I don't understand a lot of things on front end. So I will blindly copy what ChatGPT is telling me to do. Create an index.html. Okay, I created an index.html with the following content. Now set up the directory structure. Ensure you have the following directory structure. So I have my project app.py, I have templates, I have index.html, I should have uploads and output. Uploads, I have my uploads, I have my output, I have templates. The uploads directory will store the input video files. The output directory will store the processed video files. Run the Flask application using python app.py. Okay, choose video file option comes, process video. The input looks good. I will try with one of the videos. Output video file name, I will just write output1. My uploads has the video. That's a good sign. I am thinking since my front end is built and it has the Python command, I will copy the code which AI told me to do in my original Python project. So the folders provided by ChatGPT were output and uploads and app.py. So here that particular code should run well. So let's run it. Unrecognized arguments. I can write here print command to see what command it is printing, but I will let ChatGPT decide where to put the command. I want to see the command my front end is calling.
A few moments later.
Updated Flask application. Alright, executing. Alright, it added the command here. Okay, let me copy this. Now again choose a file. I will choose this. Process output 2. Executing command jump cutter main.py. Uploads input.mp4. I is correct, output is also correct. Can't open file main.py. Fair point, I told ChatGPT to give this path, but it is actually just main.py. Let me try again. Output folder is still empty. Choose a file. So this is not calling it properly. The input file has spaces in between. So I will let ChatGPT know that my input file has spaces. I think that may be creating problem.
A few moments later.
As the shell may interpret the spaces as separating different arguments, that is true, that is what is happening for me. To handle this, you should wrap the file paths in quotes when constructing the command. Here's how you can modify the Flask application to handle file paths with spaces. What changed? I added double quotes around input path and output path when constructing the command. So it says that ChatGPT has added these double quotes here, and yeah, let's try this updated front end. Save. I am hopeful that the code will run this time, not my code. I think I have cleared most of the errors. Let us check. So I will choose my input video and my output file name should be I will make it out1.mp4 and process video. Let me check this. Yes, the code is running. Uploads folder has my screen recording which I had selected. Now output also has the file name which I specified, and it is the same which I had specified. The code is still writing to this file, so this file is not playable now. I will let the program finish.
A few moments later.
And my processing is finished and I got my output folder. But I have some concerns with this project. The concern is every time I need to specify my output video file name. Now since my output files are being stored in a separate folder, it is fine for me if my input and output file names are same. So I will tell ChatGPT to do it. Automatically set the output file name as input file name. Don't take user input for it. My second concern is the command which I gave ChatGPT. In that I had mentioned the codec, but ChatGPT doesn't use it. So the command was this codec libex 264. So I will tell ChatGPT to make this codec as default. Since I am using Mac, this codec is supported by applications like QuickTime Player and iMovie, which I frequently use. So I will write set the codec as this, and I will tell ChatGPT to still show the codec in the form so that user has option to change it. Show the codec in the front end so that user has option to change it. Now my other concern is I usually perform these operations on a bunch of files. So I want to select a group of files and not one file every time. And my next concern is whenever I select a file, it seems that the code written by ChatGPT is copying the file in the uploads folder of the project. I don't want to copy the file again, otherwise it is improper storage management. So that is another instruction I want to give. Directly use the file. The output files can be in the output folder. That is fine.
A few moments later.
Let's look at what has changed. Automatic output file name. The output file name is now automatically generated based on input file name by appending underscore out.mp4. This is better than what I expected. ChatGPT understands emotions, it seems. Default codec. Nice. The form now allows multiple files to be selected at once using multiple in the file input. The input files are used directly without being copied on uploads folder. Alright. Okay, I am very excited for this. Let's check. It shows two files chosen. Default codec is set as I requested, and I will process videos. I got some error. Seems like the code generated by ChatGPT did not take into account the exact path of my input. It just takes the file name as the input. So I will tell ChatGPT to look at this problem. As you might have observed till now, ChatGPT does make mistakes or doesn't optimize for the user requirements, and it also says ChatGPT can make mistakes. So this is an indicator that the current level of ChatGPT cannot develop a full-blown application. It needs human input. It has reduced my efforts, that's for sure. I would have taken a whole more time to write the code to Google how things are written in Flask, but ChatGPT knows all that stuff and it wrote the basic code for me. Now my job is to only debug that code. So I will tell ChatGPT, fingers crossed.
A few moments later.
Full path for I parameter, the input path is now set to absolute path of the input using os.path. Nice job, ChatGPT. Having ChatGPT write code for you is like you have someone who is working for you. Like you tell the person what to do, the person does it. It makes mistakes, sure, but you teach it. I hope ChatGPT introduces some kind of memory thing such that it remembers everything I tell it. I know currently it has memory, but that has a limit on how much it can remember. If that was unlimited, I could use ChatGPT as my personal assistant. I could teach it my style of coding, how I find things on internet, what things I personally prefer and not prefer while coding. Anyways, I will use this code for now. Choose a file, this and this, open. Default codec is set. It says 2 files and process videos. Can't open the file. The file %s could not be found. It says executing command this. It says the file this could not be found. Please check that you entered the correct path. So it took the incorrect input. This file is in desktop, it's not in jump cutter. So I will tell ChatGPT, seems like you are not able to extract the right path of the input files.
A few moments later.
Due to security constraints, web browsers don't allow access to full file paths to client machine. Here's how you can update the application. Save the uploaded file temporarily. Process it using the saved path and delete the path after processing. Fair point, web browsers have certain restrictions in place so that the web apps can't access data in the client machine. Now, since we are building a web app, it is possible that the browser is not allowing this application to access the path of the file. I'm fine if the file is downloaded temporarily to the folder and then deleted after use. So I will just copy this code and let's look at the updates. The uploaded file is saved to a temporary directory and the full path, okay, yeah, this solves the problem. ChatGPT can be like a very nice sidekick when it comes to coding companion. Sometimes you know these problems, but it doesn't strike you at the moment. I will refresh this again and choose files. I select these two and open. I see 2 files, that is fine. Process videos. I will wait till this finishes processing. Let's see the output. So I got one output, or I think this is creating the file.
A few moments later.
Alright, so this code actually worked. I will see if I am able to open the video files. As in, I want to check that the video files are not corrupted. Output.mp4, and yeah, I can seek through my video files. So that's a good sign. I'm happy that now I have a front end for this entire process. I don't have to run codes individually for each video. And ChatGPT was able to solve my problem with some instructions, right? But if I had to code it myself, I would have taken a lot more time to do it. Now I want to be a little greedy. I will ask ChatGPT to design this input in a better way and show things like a buffer icon or something when the processing is going on. I want ChatGPT to style the website, use colors like blue. I will tell it to use contrasting colors and design an aesthetic website having blue color is preferable. Let's try out the design skills of ChatGPT. What else? Yeah, I will show. I want to show processing icon while the videos are being processed. I also want to display the names of the videos as they are being processed. Also display the names of the process. I'm excited to see what ChatGPT tells me. I develop softwares. Designing is not my cup of tea, but since ChatGPT is an all-rounder, I will use ChatGPT's help to do it. Memory updated. Prefers a website design with an aesthetic appearance using contrasting colors and a preference for blue. The user wants to show a processing icon while the videos are being processed and display the names of the videos as they are being processed. Yeah, exactly, that is what I wanted.
A few moments later.
It says below is the updated Flask application and HTML template with styling, a processing icon and the display of video names during processing. The site uses contrasting colors with a blue theme. Nice. Talking about key features, I have styling. aesthetic design with contrasting colors and a blue theme, form elements styled with padding borders and rounded corners, nice, a background gradient for an enhanced visual effect, a loading spinner, and somehow it has the link to the spinner. This is interesting. The loading div is displayed when the form is submitted. As each video is selected for processing, its name is displayed under the loading spinner to show the progress. Alright. When the user clicks on process videos, the selected video names are displayed and the processing spinner appears. The videos are processed in parallel using threads, which allows for a responsive UI behavior during processing. I will blindly copy the code. It's a beautiful display, but it's not as beautiful as I thought it would be. But anyways, let me choose the files. Choose files, this and the last one, open, process videos, and it could not fetch the video from where it's said, but it is processing my videos. Is it doing it in parallel? Executing command. Oh, it is actually executing both the commands simultaneously, and this is where it is storing the temporary files under the var directory, but it is not giving me real-time update of the progress, but that's fine. I don't want to be so harsh. It's a simple UI design. It doesn't have many design elements and these boxes go out of this line. Let me check how responsive this is. It is phone compatible, iPad mini compatible, and yeah, it is decent. It does my work. It still shows processing here and it is actually processing. I think one video is ready. It doesn't show me that the video is ready. I will have to come to the screen to check if processing is done or not, or if any video fails in between. There is no way for me to find out which video processing has failed if I have to rely on this UI, but I will wait for some time. If it tells me which videos have passed at the end, till then I will tell ChatGPT that I want a desktop compatible front end. I will tell it to choose a lighter shade of blue. I know without having photos in website it is very difficult to make it look beautiful, but I want to give my inputs and see how it does. I will include my channel name code with GD at the top. I don't want the options as a list. It would be nice if I had options like this. So I will tell it don't show the options as a list. Frame it in a horizontal way. Okay, the video processing finished. This page refreshed on its own, and here I get done. So my current UI currently doesn't tell me when the processing is done, so I want that as well. UI should tell me when tell me whether the processing of a certain video is successful or unsuccessful. And I also don't care about parallel processing, so don't care. At the end I want to know when the processing, and then I want to know in the UI when the processing has finished. I also want real-time updates of when processing has finished for a particular video. Let's see what ChatGPT gives me. I know I am being really harsh on ChatGPT making so many demands, but I just want to test the limits of till where ChatGPT can give me correct results.
A few moments later.
So the key features are channel branding, the channel name code with GD. Alright. The site uses a lighter shade of blue with a clean modern look. A horizontal layout is used for the form elements, creating a compact and organized appearance. Real-time updates as each video is processed. Its status success or continue generating. Success or failure is displayed in real time. A processing icon appears while the videos are being processed. All the videos have been processed. A final message is displayed. Alright, okay. And by this I have also hit the free plan limit for GPT-4o. I will refresh and This also doesn't look aesthetic, by the way. Is it because I gave color preference to ChatGPT? I will just tell ChatGPT for the UI use your own color. For the HTML page design, use your own color. Use your own preferred color and design. Honestly, I also don't know what design I am expecting without pictures or animation, but I just want to check what ChatGPT gives me. I want a good looking design that pleases the user working on it.
A few moments later.
Here's a refreshed design with a modern and pleasing color scheme. I used a combination of soft blue tones and complementary colors for a sleek look. The design includes better spacing, rounded elements, and a more intuitive layout. So, my point is, if there was scope for improvement, it should have done it from the beginning. And it still used blue tone instead of me telling it to use its own preferred color. I feel this is a flaw, but I will comment after looking at the design. Color scheme, soft blue tones, okay, layout and spacing, buttons and inputs. I don't understand much about front end, so I will just skip the description and run it. Almost the same, but I would say the version before this was actually better, because now I have to scroll till the end to click on process videos. Okay, I will just revert to the previous design. Control Z and refresh. Yeah, this is much better. At least I feel it is much better. And now I will run the code. I will clear my output directory and choose files. Choose this and this. Open. It says 2 files selected and process videos. Processing videos, and it is actually processing the videos. Okay. I will just wait on this screen to see what happens. Till then, my comments on the front end. It feels like ChatGPT has hit a wall when it comes to designing only with colors. So I will stop pestering ChatGPT to design me a better web page.
A few moments later.
So video writing for one video is successful. Does it show up here? It still doesn't show up. Okay. I will wait for it to completely finish. If I had an option where I could give image as an input to ChatGPT and I could ask ChatGPT to design a web page for me, that would be nice. I have option to attach a file, but nothing happens. Maybe attaching image is not supported in non-GPT-4 version. So I have a different account of ChatGPT where the attaching feature is working. I guess it is probably because I exhausted my GPT-4 quota for this chat. So in this account I have option to attach file from the computer, since I think it is using the ChatGPT-4 version. Let me search for website designs, website design images. I want to do a simple image. Let me download this image, save image as, save, and I will open my ChatGPT. I will attach that image. So this is the website design. Create exactly same website for me. Give me the HTML code. Okay, let's see what it does.
A few moments later.
So it tells me, however, creating an exact replica involves several steps, including HTML, CSS, and possibly JavaScript for interactions. Fair point. It also requires designing or obtaining similar images, logos, and other assets. Again, fair point. Let me check what this HTML page gives me. Is there a site to render HTML design? That's what I wanted. Oh, so it created buttons properly. Let me open the image. Now this is interesting. It used almost the same font and the same top bar. It doesn't have the globe. The request contact button it changed on its own, but to a great extent this was good. By the way, coming back to the video processor front end, I see a success message for both the videos, and it also tells me how long it took to process those individual videos. This is more than I asked for. I am happy with this, but now I know that ChatGPT can generate code for the designs I input. I will try to find an image for a form in Google Images and input it to my model saying generate a similar design for me. I like this design and this color scheme. I will just save image as okay. Now the problem is the ChatGPT box where I was writing my code. This has exceeded GPT-4o limits and I am unable to attach images. Now I have a different ChatGPT account where I can upload image. So I am thinking I will use that account to upload this image. It will give me an HTML code. I will take that text and input it in my additional ChatGPT chat box and see what result it gives me. I have to add this complexity because I don't have a premium for GPT-4o. So let me check. Upload from computer, and this was the image. Generate an HTML code for me. I will correct my grammar. Generate the HTML code for this image.
A few moments later.
Alright, I will blindly copy this, and I had an HTML renderer website. Paste, and yeah, it matches the color scheme. So this was my target web page, and this is what ChatGPT generated for me. It missed some elements, like the font of this is really beautiful, I like it, and it missed this underline here. I don't know if that requires an image or it can be done by HTML. Now this was probably a spelling mistake. ChatGPT saw it and corrected it in the web page it rendered. This register button, so the register button developed by ChatGPT looks better than this. ChatGPT chose to remove these things, the topics for each input box. This is another difference. Talking about differences, it has got rounded corners, spacing between input boxes are missing. Anyways, I like this design. I will copy this code and tell my additional chat box to create an HTML design similar to this. For the above use case, look at this form design and replicate the design for me for this particular app. Discussed above, I just want you to implement a similar design, keeping the functionality intact. Let's see what it gives.
A few moments later.
To replicate a similar design to the form you provided, I will focus on clean modern aesthetics with rounded elements and a well organized layout. Here's the updated HTML with the design inspired by the example provided. Alright, design highlights, background and container using soft neutral colors. Alright, key elements to use a deep blue. Okay, form layout, form fields are grouped. I really hope ChatGPT did not break any functionalities. This was my page. Refresh. Okay, it picked up some design elements but not all. I wanted to pick the background. Okay, I will tell this ChatGPT to just change the background. Just change the background of the generated HTML page to match the background in below code, and let me give it the code.
A few moments later.
The page now has a linear gradient background from light blue to pink, and the container retains the white background and box shadow to stand out against the gradient background, making the form more prominent and easier to focus on. Alright, and it created the updated design for me. It would be nice to have these in black, but I am sure ChatGPT will be able to do that. I will leave it as blue for now, and that's it with my experiment of using ChatGPT for developing applications. It was a really nice experiment and I loved it, and after this I will probably start using more AI tools in my day-to-day work as a software developer. One thing as a takeaway for this is ChatGPT can't do everything for you. Now you have to provide instructions to ChatGPT on how to write certain code, or you need to see the error and debug it and tell ChatGPT that you need to rectify this problem, or this problem is coming, suggest me a solution, and hopefully ChatGPT will do it for you. One more takeaway is, if after 2 or 3 tries ChatGPT or any other LLM for that matter is not able to rectify the problem or solve your problem, you should give up on ChatGPT or LLM for that particular feature, because it is an indication that the LLM model has reached its limit. It had knowledge till that point, and you need to rectify the problem yourself. If you don't know how to rectify, do a Google search. Other people might have faced that problem. Find it on Stack Overflow or GitHub or any other platform where you search for errors to debug your problem. ChatGPT at this point is not a good replacement for human coders, but it definitely is a great companion for coders. So use ChatGPT as your companion and don't think of it as a replacement of programmers. But I was really impressed with the results ChatGPT was giving me, especially the part where it was able to almost match the code of the website which I gave it. I will also probably do an experiment where I give ChatGPT an image of a website and I could describe the interactions. I could upload the image assets at certain websites and I could mention in the description like the image assets are present at this website. Use this to code for a website for my application. I will definitely try that out and create an YouTube video for it. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Like it and share this with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel Code with GD. Till then, happy coding. Bye bye.